Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I'm back with another video which is a normal version of part 5 for what if Naruto was a full Uzumaki and he rebuilt the Whirlpool village. So alright guys, before we get started, I would like to thank all of you as Naruto What Ifs has now crossed 150 subs. I'm so grateful to everyone who enjoys my content, and despite the fact that 150 is not a lot of subscribers compared to other YouTube channels, it's a huge milestone for mine, and it means more to me than you guys could ever realize. So thanks again to my regular viewers and subscribers. If you like my channel and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Alright, guys. With all that out of the way, let's recap the last part. So, uh, Naruto and his assembled squad helped the Hidden Mist faction beat Yagura, and Mei became the fifth Mizukage, and the Hidden Mist became an ally of Uzushio Gakure, and other villages found out what happened in the Hidden Mist. So, but when they tried to send spies, of course that didn't work. And after 2 years, Hiruzen invited Naruto to send a Genin to participate in the Chunin exams, and he invited him to the Five Kage Summit. And Naruto made it pretty clear that Uzushio Gakure is no longer an ally of Konoha, and he demanded that Konoha stops affiliating itself with Uzushio Gakure. And then Naruto and Karin end up going out together for the first time, and Naruto, like the lucky bastard he is, starts living with his girl Karin. And during all of this, Hiruzen and the Hidden Leaf Council were discussing what to do about Naruto's letter, and Hiruzen finally decided to meet him and on the Team 7 bridge and try to reason with him. So, anyways, guys, that's where we left off, and now let's begin this part. So, as promised, I will be telling you guys about Naruto's clone's time with Jiraiya, and yeah, so now we go a bit into the past, as Naruto did meet Jiraiya when he was 11. And by the way, I will be calling the Earth clone Naruto instead of Naruto's clone, as it's kind of annoying to keep calling it Naruto's clone all the time. So, anyways, Jiraiya finds Naruto disguised as a street rat basically, and he runs up to him and he's like, "Naruto, is that you?" with like a shocked expression. And Naruto looks up at him and kind of backs away like he's scared because he kind of needs to make the act believable, right? So, anyways, Jiraiya's like, "It's me, your godfather, Jiraiya. I've been searching for you for 7 years, Naruto." And Naruto is like genuinely shocked at this. Like, uh, he wasn't acting. He was like really shocked because he wasn't told that Jiraiya was his godfather, but he kind of believed it as he found out that that Jiraiya was his father's sensei. So him being Naruto's godfather wasn't that far fetched. So he was like, "I have a godfather," and Jiraiya was like, "Yes, Naruto. I was meant to protect you if anything ever happened to your parents. Although it now seems like I've failed in this aspect as well. I guess my life has always been full of failures." And he said this like pretty sadly because he was like remembering Nagato, especially like seeing Naruto's red hair, and he was also reminded of Kushina and Minato when he saw him, and basically all of his bad memories were like coming back to him. Anyways, Naruto he consoled Jiraiya saying that all that didn't matter as he was there for him now, and that's what counts. And yeah, recruiting so many people to his village made Naruto like a talk no jutsu master. Like, and Jiraiya kind of cheered up a little because of this. So, Jiraiya he took Naruto to the hotel where he was staying, and he got him cleaned up, and he bought him a fresh set of clothes. So while all of this is happening, Jiraiya noticed that Naruto was like extremely ripped for his age. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like muscular as fuck. So, anyways, uh, he asked him about this, and Naruto made up like stories about training to ward off people who try to harass him, and like about several ex shinobi training him and like taking him under their wing for a while to like teach him how to protect himself and stuff like that. So now, Jiraiya, he bought that, and this is like obviously a lie, because Naruto is training on his own and stuff. So anyways, so now Jiraiya, he told Naruto that he would make up for not being there for him by training him. And Naruto straight away asked Jiraiya to teach him the toad summoning. And Jiraiya wasn't suspicious about Naruto knowing this, knowing that he can summon toads, as it was actually one of Jiraiya's toads that carried him and Naruto back to the hotel. And Jiraiya was like, the toad summoning. In order to learn that, you have to first get strong enough to prove yourself to the toads. So how about we have a sparring session, and you show me some of your abilities. So Naruto already told Jiraiya about the scrolls his parents left him, and how he had been trying to out the jutsus ever since he learned how to mold chakra, and he actually learned a few of them. And uh, Jiraiya expected Naruto to put up like a bit of a fight. So anyways, Naruto agreed to spar, and he and Jiraiya went to an open field, and Jiraiya was like, "All right, we'll have two sparring sessions. One where we both use only taijutsu, and one where we can use whatever we want." And Naruto, he nods, and he gets into his fighting stance, and Jiraiya does the same. So as soon as a rock that was dropped by one of Jiraiya's toads lands on the ground, Naruto and Jiraiya run towards each other. Obviously, Naruto can easily take out Jiraiya, like no effort at all. But he just wants to pretend that Jiraiya is stronger, as his goal is to learn Sage Mode from Jiraiya. So he wants to, pretend that Jiraiya still has something to teach him. So Naruto has planned. He pretended to go all out, but he fought at Jiraiya's pace, and he kept pace with him for a while. And Naruto actually noticed some flaws in his own taijutsu, as Jiraiya took advantage of them. And of course, this was because he was going a lot slower than he actually can, but he actually realized that there might be more to learn from Jiraiya than he initially thought. So he could make his taijutsu way more finessed. Uh, so basically, that's what he realizes. And anyways, Naruto pretends to lose the match, and he falls on the ground. And Jiraiya is impressed seeing Naruto's skill. Although it's not perfect, Jiraiya doesn't even know many Kage who are on the same level as Naruto with Taijutsu. And at least based on what he saw. Like, if he saw the real Naruto's skill with Taijutsu, he would faint. And he was like, "Wow, Naruto, you are so much better than I expected. How do you learn to fight at this level?" And Naruto, he scratched his head and he chuckled, and he was like, "I had a few people who trained me, and I trained a lot on my own." And Jiraiya obviously had to buy that excuse for now, because what other explanation was there? Do you think he'd think that Naruto went ahead and became a leader of a whole village? No. So, anyways, he was like, "All right, now for the second session." And Naruto gave him a thumbs up. And when the fight started, Jiraiya and Naruto started throwing punches and kicks at each other. But suddenly Jiraiya gets a karate chop to the neck, and he falls unconscious. And then he wakes up a few minutes later, and he looks around, searching for whoever knocked him out. And Naruto's like, "Looks like I won this time, Jiraiya Sensei." And Jiraiya's shocked, he didn't see that coming, and he was like, "You were the one who knocked me out? Don't tell me. Was it Genjutsu?" And Naruto was like, "Well, one of the ninjas who trained me is a huge fan of yours, and but I remember that he told me that your weakness is Genjutsu." And Jiraiya was flabbergasted, and he was like, "But how? Your parents weren't good with Genjutsu. And when?" And Naruto was like, "The ninja I mentioned was actually a specialist at it. So I learned a little bit from him. As for when I placed the Genjutsu on you, remember when I gave you that thumbs up at the beginning of the sparring match?" And Jiraiya's jaw was dropping to the floor at this point. He was like, "Seriously, since then?" He was like, "Amazing To think that he could beat me in a way that I would least expect from him, and such finesse with genjutsu. He made one strong enough to work on me. I wonder what else he's hiding. And Jiraiya, he pulled out the scroll for the toad summoning contracts, and it was like, and he was like, "All right, Naruto, I'll teach you to summon a toad. First, bite your finger and write your full name here in your blood. Then coat your fingertips with your blood and stamp all five of your fingers here at once." And Naruto obeyed, and Jiraiya then he showed Naruto the hand signs as well as a demonstration so that Naruto gets the steps right. And Naruto put some distance between him and Jiraiya, and he does as he was told, and he summons Gamabunta on his first try. And Gamabunta, he looks at Naruto and he is like, "Who are you, brat? Where is Jiraiya?" And Naruto was like, "It wouldn't hurt to be more polite to your summoner, you know." And Gamabunta laughed and he was like, "Ha ha ha, what a joke. You don't have enough chakra to summon me." And Naruto, he shrugged and he was like, "Huh, whether you believe it or not, it's true that I summoned you and you will show me respect." And Gamabunta was like, "Respect my foot. Fine, I'll tell you what. If you can stand on my head for an entire day, I will become your summoning." And Naruto's like, "Enough. Shut up and become my summoning, or I'll use my fire release to roast up some jumbo frog legs out of you for lunch. I don't have time for for your ridiculous games. Just do as I say." And Gamabunta, he got pretty mad and he tried to attack Naruto. And Naruto jumped up high, and before Jiraiya could stop him, he weaved a bunch of hand signs and he was like, "Fire style, majestic destroyer flame." And then he blew out a massive torrent of fire. Like, if you remember the Madara in the War Arc, where he literally like bodied the five Kage and like he spewed out this like insane like fire release jutsu, is basically the same thing. And he blew that out, and um, Gamabunta, he like looked up in awe, and the attack he score the fire release attack, it scorched the top of Gamabunta's head and his back pretty bad. And Gamabunta, he became scared of Naruto, and Naruto was like, "Satisfied, or should I do that to the rest of you now?" And Gamabunta was like, "Okay, okay, fine, I'll obey you. Just please don't attack me like that again." And Naruto was like, "Good. Now that I have your obedience, I'll heal you. Lie down on your back." And Gamabunta did as he was told, even though it hurt due to the bones. And Naruto, he wove a long set of hand signs and he was like, "Water style, frigid healing," and a bunch of slush that actually like that glowed green, like you know how medical ninjas' hands glow green when they try to heal, right? So it glowed green like that, and then it flowed out to where Gamabunta was lying, and the burns they healed up, and Gamabunta's skin went back to normal. And Gamabunta then thanked Naruto for healing him, and they both introduced themselves to each other. And Jiraiya, he then walked out from nearby with a shocked look on his face. He was like, "Well, that is one way to introduce yourself to your summon, Naruto. Where do you learn such a powerful healing technique? I have to tell Tsunade about it. She is a master healer, and her chakra nature affinity is actually water, so it will be perfect for her." And Naruto told him that he actually like created it on his own when one of his old masters, who was a medical ninja, died to a strong fire release attack, and he wasn't able to save him. Obviously, these stories about Naruto's old masters are all fake, but Naruto is actually saying this because he realized that he fucked up, like using such powerful techniques. So he was trying to save his ass by saying that his master died so that Jiraiya wouldn't like press him on. And this tactic actually worked, but Jiraiya was kind of getting suspicious about like what kind of techniques that Naruto was still hiding. And Naruto already told Jiraiya about the majestic destroyer flames, and as it was in the copy of the scroll of sealing that his father left him, and Jiraiya knew about that. Anyways, Gamabunta was like super super scared of Naruto, and then like he gingerly waved Naruto like hesitantly, and he waved goodbye, and he reverse summoned himself back to Mount Myoboku. So Jiraiya, he went back to the village, and he told only the Hokage and no one else that he actually found Naruto, and that he would personally train Naruto and bring him back when he was strong enough. So Hiruzen, he called his Anbu and he told them to stop hunting for Naruto and continue the regular Anbu missions, but he reminded them that for appearance's sake they had to pretend that they're still searching for Naruto. And by the way, Jiraiya left Naruto at the hotel when he went to tell Hiruzen the news. So that like Naruto doesn't have to like enter the village and be seen by anyone. So, anyways, Jiraiya went back to Naruto, and a few days later, uh, he asked him whether he wanted to be a ninja, and Naruto said yes. And Jiraiya asked him what his goal as a ninja would be, and Naruto replied by saying, "I want to create a world in which people aren't judged and hated because of foolish assumptions. I want a world where people can live in peace without the fear of disaster and poverty." And hearing Naruto's goal, Jiraiya was pretty shocked that Naruto already thought in such a mature way, and he was like, "Yep, I think I found the child of prophecy, and he is pretty strong. He just proved that he can take me. He can even take me on with these. I wonder just what he's been doing for all these years to get this strong. There aren't many shinobi who can teach him stuff like what he pulled off. However, all in good time, I guess." And so a few months passed, and during these months, Naruto he showed Jiraiya the Rasengan and its variants, which all have nature transformations added, telling him that in the scroll of sealing it said that the Rasengan was incomplete, so he added nature transformations to it. And Jiraiya was like impressed because Naruto did what he couldn't do. And also Naruto had all five nature transformations. Jiraiya had only four, which was everything except for lightning. And seeing this, like Naruto reminded Jiraiya like deeply of Nagato because Nagato also had five chakra natures and yang release by the age of 10. And by the way, Naruto does have yin and yang release. He doesn't have yin yang release. He just has yin and yang release like separately. Uh, but then he didn't like show that to anyone yet. So uh, Naruto basically reminded Jiraiya of Nagato, and Jiraiya thought, "Damn, Uzumakis have the most potential." And by now he thought that Naruto, despite being young, was more than ready to train in Sage mode. So he asked him whether he was interested in this, and obviously Naruto happily agreed. And this is like basically the reason why he even approached Jiraiya. So because he wanted to learn Sage mode. So of course, during each month, Naruto's clone did teleport back to the original and released itself, filling Naruto in on how the training with Jiraiya was going, and Naruto would like remake the clone and send it back. And Naruto felt his improved taijutsu skills, and he was like, an unexpected advantage. Anyways, now now it is no longer Naruto using Jiraiya to learn Sage Mode, but Naruto actually grew to care for Jiraiya. Like he wasn't just using him. So of course he got to know like his habits, and he still ended up nicknaming him Pervy Sage. So anyways, Jiraiya taught Naruto how to reverse summon himself to Mount Myoboku, and Naruto managed to reverse summon himself and Jiraiya to Mount Myoboku on the first try, impressing Jiraiya. And Jiraiya, like he explained about Naruto to the Toad Sages, Fukasaku and Shima, and they instantly agreed to like train Naruto in Senjutsu. So Naruto he trained for like 6 months in Sage mode, and he mastered it to the point where he can literally get into Toad Sage mode in a fraction of a second while running it in his top speed. And he also mastered the special ability of the Toad Sage mode, which is Toad Kumite. So like that's basically like that thing where you like taijutsu where you surround yourself with nature energy, and that nature energy is used to enhance taijutsu. So, and by the way, he also got the key to Kurama's cage, and also he did look a bit different with Toad Sage mode than in the original because um, Naruto is no longer the son of Namikaze. He's no longer the orange dude. He's the red dude because uh, both his parents were full Uzumakis and they were both red haired. So uh, he's going to have a bit different stage mode, and so I'm putting a picture on the screen now, and this is how he looks with Toad Sage mode now. So anyways, Jiraiya then left Naruto in the Leaf Village, telling Hiruzen that Naruto was more than capable of fending for himself, and that he was now a Kage level fighter. And Hiruzen was shocked because Naruto was still a 12-year-old, and Jiraiya was like, "You'll see," and he just left to do his spy stuff. But then Naruto, he told Hiruzen that he still had some unfinished business outside the village and that he would be back in a year. And Hiruzen was like, "Fine, Naruto, I understand. Take as long as you need." And Naruto thanked Hiruzen and left. But Naruto had plans. He set out to like search for Tsunade, and he found her in about a month. And she was like sitting in a bar with Shizune and getting drunk, and Naruto was not impressed. But then he still had to be polite to her, and he approached her and she looked up at him. So he was like, "Konoha Slug Princess, Lady Tsunade, I am Naruto Uzumaki. I request you to train me in medical ninjutsu, the 100 healings, using the slug summoning and in slug senjutsu." And he said this like bowing deeply, and Tsunade, she smirked and she was like, "Looks like the brat knows his manners." And Naruto stood back up and Tsunade asked him, "So, I have two questions for you. What makes you think that you are worthy of my time? And even if I do teach you, even if I do teach you what you asked me to do, what will you do with my teachings?" And Naruto was like, "As for your second question, I wish to create a peaceful world where hatred and preconceived judgment of people doesn't exist. As for your first question, would you consider me worthy if I were to beat you in a fight?" And by the way, guys, Naruto's purpose made Tsunade remember like her brother and her lover, who had the similar ideals and all of that. And already was taking like a bit of a liking to Naruto. And so now Tsunade was like, "Hmm, a bit cocky, aren't you? Thinking you can beat me, a legendary Sanin. But yes, I will agree to train you in these things if you somehow manage to beat me. In fact, I will even throw in this necklace, which is my family heirloom. It was the first Hokage's." And Naruto was like, "So, we have a bet then. I know you like to gamble." And Tsunade, she smirked and she nodded. And she was like, "This will be over quickly. I will use only one finger." And then Naruto, he ignored her, and they both went outside the bar. And Tsunade then ran towards Naruto and she positioned her finger as if she was going to flick Naruto. And Naruto quickly wove hand seals faster than Tsunade could even see. And he said, "Earth style, limb binding jutsu." And earth in the shape of pillars basically came out of the ground, and these pillars were fortified with Naruto's chakra, and they encased Tsunade's arms from her hands to her elbows and her legs from her feet to her knees. And now Tsunade was like trapped, and Naruto's like, "Looks like I won." And Tsunade was like, "Don't take me lightly, kid." And she thrashed around in the bind, and small cracks started to appear on the rock, trapping her. And he was like, Naruto was like, "I'm impressed. You're the first one to do that to my to one of my earth jutsus." However, as he said, however, he quickly weaved through another set of hand signs, and he was like, "Earth style, creeping coffin." And the earth around Sonari's limbs quickly grew around until her entire body was trapped. Um, by the way, guys, I know that Naruto is using a lot of earth style, but That's because Earth Style is his least lethal jutsu, pretty much. So, other chakra natures, like maybe Water Style would work, but then Earth Style is more like, restraining basically. So, that's why he uses Earth Style a lot. So then, Tsunade was like about to unleash her Byakugo seal in order to break the bind, but Shizune stopped her, and she was like, "Why would you waste chakra by fighting a child? It was already impressive that Naruto managed to beat you so easily without you using the 100 healings." And then Tsunade, she saw Shizune's point, and she agreed to train Naruto. So she taught him even finer chakra control than he already was capable of, and she taught him her medical ninjutsu and how to summon slugs, and she also like taught him like how to um, collect chakra into a single point and create the Byakugo seal. And Naruto's gonna have five Byakugo seals, two on his hands, two on his feet, and one on his chin, like Jigen, because I think that looks cooler than having it on the forehead. Anyways, uh, yeah, so Naruto's gonna have five Byakugo seals, and that's gonna be hella OP. So that's why I'm giving him five. But also, they're like one of the direct points at which he can release a lot of chakra. So they help with his medical ninjutsu. So that's another advantage. And so basically, Naruto also taught Tsunade that healing jutsu that he himself created with the slush and stuff. And Tsunade was like very impressed because of Naruto creating this technique, and she was like grateful for him for teaching her such a technique. And but however, like when it came to teaching Naruto senjutsu, Tsunade, she told him that she hadn't perfected it yet, and but she could reverse summon him to Shikotsu Forest, which was the home of the slugs, and he could train in Slug Sage mode there. So Naruto, he told her that that would be great, and he thanked her for all her help. And he went to Shikotsu Forest, and so at Shikotsu Forest, Naruto, he learned and perfected Slug Sage mode. There isn't much to be said about that, and it was much easier than Toad Sage mode because slugs are more pacifist, so it's easier to control their nature energy and sync it up with his own chakra. So of course, before the training began, Katsuyu, she already knew about Naruto having Toad Sage mode, so she was kind of worried about Naruto stacking up another type of Sage mode on top of that. But Naruto told her not to worry as he could handle it, and she believed in him because she saw what Naruto could do. Uh, anyways, Naruto mastered the special ability of Slug Sage mode as well, and now I'm gonna reveal that to you guys. And it is the Slug special healing ability called Nature's Healing. And basically, the Sage mode user can heal even faster using nature energy, and even extend his own Sage mode energy to other people to heal them much faster. And so basically that's what it does. And by the way, this is how the markings on Naruto's face look when he uses slug sage mode. So anyways, after all of this was over, 2 years have passed and we are back in the present. And Hiruzen, he had left with Kakashi and Guy to reach the Team 7 bridge at the specified time and negotiate with the leader of Uzushio Gakure. However, he didn't know that Danzo, like being the snake he is, went back on his word to Hiruzen and sent Root Anbu to trail him and ambush Naruto on the Team 7 bridge. So Naruto, who was wearing a cloak and a mask to hide his face and hair color, was actually like waiting for them on the bridge when they arrived, obviously. So this was around 3 hours before Naruto actually planned to leave back to Uzushio Gakure. And Hiruzen, he walked to the middle of the bridge, and uh, Naruto was waiting there, and Hiruzen was like, apologies to keep you waiting, leader of Uzushio Gakure." And Naruto sent some Kyubi chakra to his throat to disguise his voice and said, I see that you have not complied with the instructions I sent you in my letter. And Hiruzen, he looked confused. And Naruto blitzed around, killing all the Anbu that Danzo sent instantly and bringing their bodies to the bridge. And Hiruzen was shocked to see a six-root Anbu ninja dead at his feet. And he was even more shocked to like see Naruto take them out so quickly. Like Hiruzen didn't even see him move. So Naruto was like, "I don't have time for your games, Lord Hokage. Are you hiding anything else from me?" And Hiruzen was like, "That bastard Danzo. He must have sent them after us even when I warned him not to." And Naruto was like, "Ah, I see. So that is the strength of your authority. Not even one of your officials followed your instructions. I was under the impression that villages were run by the respective Kage, but clearly that's not the case for the Leaf." And Kakashi and Guy stepped forward angrily, and Guy was like, "How dare you badmouth our Hokage?" And Naruto turned to Guy and was like, "Am I wrong? If I am, please enlighten me on how you believe I am." And Kakashi and Guy, they looked down sadly as they knew that Naruto was like spot on correct. And Naruto was like, "Hmm, I thought so." And Hiruzen actually saw this, and he almost let a tear fall on his face, but he regained his composure. And he was like, "Actually, I run the village together with Danzo and the elders, but the elders always side with Danzo and go for a less pacifist approach to solving problems. And I'm almost always outnumbered in the decision making." And Naruto's like, "Ah, so now there are the elders in the equation as well. So the village is run by a snake, two ridiculous elders who don't understand the problems faced by newer generations well enough to make beneficial decisions, and a man who may have good ideals but is too soft to be a leader. No wonder the leaf is so corrupt." And Hiruzen actually got angry by now and said, "That's enough. Let's discuss what we came here to discuss. The Hidden Leaf would like to negotiate with Uzushio Gakure regarding the letter you sent." And Naruto raised his hand, gesturing at Hiruzen to stop. And he was like, "I believe I made myself clear in that letter. I, that I'm not open to negotiation regarding any of the demands I made. It doesn't matter what you offer. I'm not interested in any of it. You either do as I demand, or Konoha gets attacked. Now, if you have any questions about my demand, you're welcome to ask me and I'll be happy to answer them for you. If not, take these Anbu rats to your village that your village sent and return. They say a dead shinobi is a treasure of secrets, but I'm not interested in your village's secrets now." And Hiruzen and Kakashi, they sealed the bodies into scrolls, and they along with Guy actually left back to the Leaf Village because they knew they weren't going to get through to Naruto. Um, so the Hidden Leaf actually decided to comply with the demands of Uzushio Gakure and Naruto's Jonin, who were actually Kimimaro and Haku. So those are the people who Naruto sent, and they searched the entire village, including the foundation, but they found no evidence of trickery. So they took all the items that were collected and took them back to Uzushio Gakure by using the flying Raijin. Yes, Naruto taught them how to do this, and they both had their own sealing formulas and stuff. So they came back and found an Uzumaki shrine on the outskirts of Konoha, and they used Earth Style, Mobile Core, and Earth Style, Featherlight Boulder Jutsu to lift the shrine, and along with the ground below it, and they also used Wind Style, Floating Rock, to hold it in the air. uh, yes, they know these overpowered jutsus, and because Naruto taught them, and they basically like you know teleported the entire shrine back to Uzushio Gakure. And meanwhile, Hiruzen was like kind of watching all of this in order to like gaze Uzushio Gakure's strength, and he was like flabbergasted. His mouth was like his jaw was like falling on the floor, and and then he realized that if Konoha and Uzushio Gakure were to have a war, especially without Nine Tails Jinchuriki who could like control his tail beast, Konoha would like probably get annihilated. And also what Naruto said kind of got to Hiruzen, so Hiruzen actually decided to retire after the five Kage summit. Anyways, Naruto and his teams they got to the Leaf Village 2 weeks after like Naruto collected all the stuff from the Hidden Leaf, and Naruto was like dressed as usual in his Anbu mask and cloak. Uh, if you don't remember the teams, Team 1 was Chino Chinoike, Akari Kaguya, and Kin Uzumaki, and their Jonin sensei was Kimimaro Kaguya. And he was also there with them. And Team 2 was the Uchiha siblings, Umi, Kei, and Raiju Uchiha. And their Jonin sensei was actually Naruto himself, as he was actually the one who trained them. So during the few days in which the teams were allowed to like prepare a little, like relax or whatever they do, Naruto was walking around the village. Like he went to Ichiraku and he ate some like ramen and stuff. And Teuchi and Ayame recognized him immediately, and they were like so happy to like see Naruto again, because they're one of the few people who actually like try to stop others from hurting Naruto, and they even used to get beat up in the process, but they still used to do it. And Naruto remembered this, and he was like happy to see them again. And Ishiraku just closed for other customers until Naruto was finished. And then uh, and like Naruto, he thanked Teuchi and Ayame, and then he walked out of the shop, and then he walked around for a bit more, and he saw Gara and his team, and he then used the QB chakra to amplify his voice, and he was like, "Hey kid, come here," to Gara, and he recognized him as the One Tails Jinchuriki. So Gara just like he ignores him and tries to walk away, but faster than Gara-san can react, Naruto threw Gara on the ground and did a series of quick hand signs and said, "Eight trigram style, double tetragram seal," and then he basically like sealed Shukaku the way Kurama was sealed inside him. And Naruto was like, "There, I fixed the seal. You should be able to sleep better now. I also sealed some of my own chakra inside you to help you make sure the One Tail doesn't come out. I also have the key." And Gaara was shocked, but he thanked Naruto, and all of his brainwashing to like destroy the Leaf Village was now gone. And basically, like this is how Naruto and Gaara become friends. And anyways, we can now move on to the Chunin exams. So first, both of Naruto's teams completely ignore the Genjutsu and move on. As of Team 7, Sasuke, he immediately notices the Uchiha siblings, and he gets suspicious. He's like, are those Uchihas? And I'll approach them if they reveal that they have Sharingan. If they aren't Uchihas, it would be pretty weird if I asked them. And yeah, that's basically what Sasuke is thinking about pretty much. And now let's move on to the written exam. So the written exam is like easy as shit. Like for Naruto's Genin, they think that and they kind of wrote these exams since like academy days pretty much. Like I'm talking about like the first team like Akari, Kaguya, and Kinuzumaki, because they started directly from academy, because Chino and Team Two all were like adopted by Naruto later, and they weren't like uh they already like kind of knew a little bit of ninja stuff. So that's what I'm gonna call it. So ninja stuff. So anyways, uh, so basically, Akari and Kin, they both like they were writing these kind of tests since like academy days. So this was like a piece of cake for them. So they all got better scores than Minato, and they got the highest scores. And Umi and K, they actually like tied for the record, like the highest score ever. And Saya also completes the written part of the test of the tuning exams pretty easily, but nowhere close to Naruto's teams. So then Anko came and gave instructions for part two of the tuning exams, which was the Forest of Death. So all the teams, they got their scrolls, and both of Naruto's teams ended up getting the same scrolls, so they didn't have to fight each other. So let's just say that Naruto's teams beat up two fodder ass teams, and the same people who reached the tower at the end of the Forest of Death reached, plus Naruto's teams. As of Team 7, they still end up getting annihilated by Orochimaru, but Naruto feels Orochimaru's chakra. Uh, and let's just say that Naruto knows Orochimaru's chakra signature, as he and Jiraiya had a few run-ins with him. So he warned Hiruzen, and Hiruzen, despite not liking Naruto, who he just like knew as a leader of Uzumaki Ogakure, he knew that Naruto wasn't joking, and he like stayed on his guard. And Anko also reported to him about Orochimaru, so search teams were sent out to like find Orochimaru and stuff. Like I don't know why they did this in the original series, like as if Orochimaru would get caught by some random fodder search team, right? Anyways, um, Sasuke still ends up getting bitten by Orochimaru, but since Sai is conscious, he and Sakura, along with Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji, all end up kind of like decimating the Sound Genin, who are Zaku, Dosu, and Kinsuchi, and they end up taking their scroll. And Sasuke still ends up waking up by this time, and he literally like rips Zabuza's arms off. Like he is stronger in this version, so he basically just rips Zaku's arms off, and he takes him out of the exams pretty much. And the other Sound Genin just like they found some fodder teams, and they took their scrolls. Uh, so, alright, guys. For the next part, I will be generating the pairings for the preliminary and the um, finals of the tuning exams third round. Uh, uh, so they won't really be the same as in the regular Naruto. And I'm sorry, guys. I remember telling someone in the comments yesterday or something that the time skip into Shippuden would probably happen to in this part, but that couldn't really happen because I really had like too much to say about Naruto's journey with Jiraiya and Tsunade and stuff. So and I'm also like hella tired right now, and I've been like rambling on for long enough. So if you enjoyed this part, go ahead and give a like, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Comment suggestions for the next what ifs, and your thoughts on the video are in general are pretty are welcome. So thanks for watching, guys.